We have a few more shots. I think most of them are already finished with the second series.
Yeah, Šuranji, we're waiting again for him, and I think that Shaziri is also has 4 shots. So
Yes, he has a
those two are the slowest one in this final. So
he has a good score though, even but Doroshenko has a 101.3. As I can see, that's the best score
yes,
in the finals so far. He
and
took up
Shaziri has
the
a
lead.
100.9, so also really good shooting from Shaziri.
Yeah, they're actually very, very close together. Doroshenko in the lead after this series,
Now
followed
second
by
place Alaryani. He was leader after the first.
Abdul Sultan. He's in the second position, following him with a difference of only 0.3. And right behind them is Shaziri with a difference of only 0.1. So the first 3 places are actually very, very tight together.
Yes, tight scoring, small differences. Now this is third series of kneeling, and after that there is changeover time, and this will be also decide a lot, because they will have to be fast. They will have to go to sighting as soon as possible to prepare for the final.
Especially Doroshenko, he's the only one shooting in the ICCF way.
Yes, and Alaryani shot 10.8, so he wants to go back in the lead. So we can see now they are in the final. The shots are getting better and better, and the kneeling position, it is quite demanding, especially for Doroshenko shooting in the ISSF style.
Yeah, but Doroshenko had a 10.4, now he had a 10.5, so he's managing his
really
kneeling
good
position, but Alaryani is keeping up also with a 10.6 after his 10.8 that he had.
And also
Very good
Shaziri
shots.
has 10.1. He's slower a little bit, but also we can see the score. Šuranji 10.5. Morvai now is in the 10s, so we'll have very small differences between the athletes, and this final will be very interesting until the end of the final.
We can see here Al-Dahmani, he's kind of going around, hitting some 9s. Now he hit a 10.7, trying to get back in the game.
Yeah, but when we look at Al-Dahmani, he looks nervous. He's not relaxed. He looks very nervous
He
in
looked
this
nervous from the beginning. He looked nervous in the sighting shots as well. Maybe he had some difficulties.
Yes. If we now look on Šuranji, we are with him now. He is very calm, relaxed. You can see he's only focused on the target. And Al-Dahmani here, we can see he's not satisfied with his shooting.
Yeah, he's not very satisfied. And Šuranji is actually a very slow shooter. If we look at other shooters, he only has like 3.
Yeah, but look at his score now, 10.8. He's really on the move now.
Great. And look at Doroshenko though. He had 5 10s in this series.
Yeah, really good shooting. So
Very
Doroshenko,
good shooting, and
Šuranji
he's keeping his lead definitely with those kind of
in
shots.
this series. And Alaryani, he shot 2 9s, and he put a little bit difference between him and Doroshenko now. We'll see what will Šuranji do. He's a little bit slow. Again, 10.3. So he's really shooting
great
nice.
Shooting technique.
Yeah.
He's very, very calm. He's not moving a lot. He's just leaving his position the whole time.
Yes.
He looks very calm.
Yeah. And you can see the athletes has a water scale on their sides. That means so they can put the rifle every shot in the same position on the same angle, which is very important for the grouping. And the kneeling is finished. So, like we said before, Doroshenko now is in the lead, and second place is Alaryani Abdullah Sultan with 2.1 points behind him, and third place now is Šuranji, only 0.2 behind Alaryani.
He's very close to Alaryani, but Doroshenko is taking his lead. I think he's if he does good in the prone, he's going to be like Norman.
Yes, it can be possible, but here in the prone, I expect also from the other athletes high scores, so we must wait. Now we can see all the coaches are helping the athletes to change the positions. Athletes must take active part of this, so they must help their coaches, otherwise they will be penalized. And a lot of work is for Doroshenko because he's ISSF style shooter.
Yeah, he has to lay down. We can see him now.
Yeah, and he
trying
has
to clean his place to lay down.
And he has to also to adjust the most on his rifle, because when you're shooting from different heights, floor, kneeling and standing, you have more adjustments to do on the rifle. It is a little bit more difficult than on the wheelchair because you don't have so much changes on the rifle settings, but still you have to do a lot of changes on the rifle. And we can see Al-Dahmani, he still looks quite nervous, he's not calm. He's the only one doing all the changeover on his firing position, and when I look at him, he's not satisfied. He is nervous. So
sometimes athletes are just not very into it. Maybe he wasn't really pleased with the qualification score or something. Maybe it's not really his day, but he was very fast at changing. I think he's going to start with his sighting shots now.
Yes, because he was shooting kneeling, and now he's going to prone, and from the wheelchair it's almost the same settings. Its difference is only 2 centimeters on the left hand for the kneeling block.
Yeah, we have a few of them actually laying down, as I can see. Shazada is also laying down.
He will shoot prone in ISSF style.
And Doroshenko also ISSF style.
Yeah.
And the rest of them are
in the wheelchairs.
So they have their like little tables for the prone. They have one of their elbows.
No, for
on
the prone, both of the elbows must be on the table. In the kneeling position, only one elbow can be on the table, and they must use a block for the kneeling, which is 10 centimeters diameter. This is simulation of the knee, so they have their elbow on that block, and the right elbow must be off the table.
Okay, we can see Doroshenko now, starting with his sighting series. He's trying to get in position.
Yeah, and for
Some
the
of them are
prone,
already doing it.
the wheelchair athletes must put both elbows on the table. So it is not so many settings for the prone for the wheelchair athletes, because it is very similar. But now we can hear Al-Aryani. We can clearly see his left forearm is up from the table. The left hand must not be completely up from the elbow. It must be lifted up. So it is very interesting to see. But when you think of positions, the kneeling position or the prone position from the chair or from the table, they really have the same meaning, and it is hard to do. Now we can see Shaziri in the ISSF prone. As we mentioned before, when you do prone the right way, you are in pain. It is not so easy as it looks on TV. It is really hard to shoot good prone position lying on the floor, because you have to level all the body. You have to control your body, and you're resting only on your 2 elbows, and it's really hard.
You would think it's easy to lay down and shoot, but it's actually really, really hard. But they do have good results in prone.
Yes,
I think the best results are in the prone.
Yes, the best results in the prone are because the rifle is the most stable, but it is hard for the body in the prone position.
So Doroshenko and Shaziri laying down on the floor, everybody else in the wheelchair. The coaches are still helping their athletes to get in position, get in place.
Yeah, we can see the coaches leveling the athletes with their target.
We can see Šuranji's coach watching him if he's doing.
Yes, but on the Šuranji's target, his grouping is very nice. He is in the 10 ring, so
the coach is walking away.
Yeah,
his
coach
job
is
finished.
satisfied. His job is finished for this series, and after the prone, he will have only one more changeover to do with him. But the prone, really, we can expect really high score. The athletes will be on the 10 ring. If you go out of the 10 ring in the prone, it is like a mistake, and you will gain disadvantage. We see More shot 9.1 after very good 10, so they must keep calm. They must keep in the center, because prone position is position when you can lose a lot if you do small mistakes.
Yeah, we have a few more minutes for the sighting. Then we have 3 series of the
5 shots.
5 shots in the prone position. We're gonna see. I'm very interested to see who's gonna do the best in this prone series, because I want to know if there is any difference between the ones who are doing it the ICCF way and the ones who are in the wheelchair.
I think the scores will be almost the same. The conditions outside are perfect. Almost no wind.
There is no wind.
The light is stable. We have some sun there, so if it stays like this for whole 5-shot series, which will be quite fast, they have perfect condition. Everything will suit the athletes. So it will be very intense 3 series of 5 shots, because the expect score. I'm so sorry. I expect scores about 104, 105.
You do?
10-shot
That's
series.
very high. That's very high.
It is prone shooting, and athletes, we have top athletes, and we will see really high scores.
That's very soon. We see Doroshenko here in his laying position.
Yeah, they have only 3 seconds, so the targets are being changed now for match.
Yeah.
And soon we'll start with first 5-shot series. It will be fast one.
It's going to be very fast, as I can see. They were a little bit faster than.
Yeah, they have less
women.
time for the prone also. They have only 150 seconds for 5 shots. So really fast shooting now.
As we can see, Doroshenko is in the lead. Alariani Abdullah Sultan following him with a difference of 2.1, but we have 3 series of 5 shots in the prone that can change a lot. Okay, Alariani started with a 10.2, Doroshenko started with a 10.5. That's a really nice shot.
Yes. But one more interesting thing is Will Šuranji and Shaziri, which were shooting really slow in the
will they manage to
shoot in 30 seconds rhythm?
Yeah, they are a bit slower, but I guess they're used to it. I mean, they've been shooting for some time now. They know what their times are, and they're gonna behave accordingly, I suppose so.
Yes,
we have some good shots. I mean, Doroshenko hitting a 10.6.
10.8, yes.
8.
And also Šuranji is in the 10. Shaziri is really good. Alariani also.
Al-Dahmani has a really beautiful little group of shots.
So Al-Dahmani is prone specialist. We can see his 5-shot group is perfect. He shot 10.9 the last shot, so really high scoring for Al-Dahmani.
Well, I hope he's going to be happier a little bit now. He wasn't really happy with the kneeling position. A 10.9 by him, maybe he gets his way back into the rank. Right now, in the 7th and 8th positions are 2 representatives from the United Arab Emirates. And one of them is in the first 3 positions,
So Doroshenko is still in the lead. He shot 51.0. The same score was Alariani Abdullah Sultan, 51.0. And we're still waiting for Šuranji. We said he is one of the slowest in kneeling and also the slowest in the prone. And I think this makes him a little bit of problems, because he's by the time pressure for every shot, because he knows he slower rhythm and he needs to do it more.
There he is. What?
We didn't see his last shot.
We didn't see his last shot, Okay.
It was 10.2.
10.2. Now we have in the lead still Doroshenko, making a difference of 2.1 in front of Alariani Abdullah Sultan, which means he is as good in prone as we kind of expected.
And Šuranji is still on 3rd place, only 0.3 behind 2nd. So
he's very close.
The tied score, and also Shaziri is there, 0.8 behind 3rd place. So we have 5 athletes with very high scores, and they are very tight, and a lot of this can happen later in the standing position.
They started with their 2nd series of 5 shots in prone.
And
the
we'll
first
see now.
shot is what is it? The
Doroshenko.
9.8 Doroshenko. I feel like he always has the first shot. He's very quick.
He's very fast, yes.
Yeah.
And look at Al-Dahmani,
Al-Dahmani
6-10
keeping
in a
it
row.
up.
He's
Yeah.
really he's really prone specialist. So he's really shooting. He has 2 10s now already, and he's shooting fast and really precise. He is in 10 ring and hitting inner 10s all the time.
I guess he expects a lot from himself. I mean, he was a gold medalist at the Asian Para Games in 2014. It's been some time.
Yes, and also maybe the prone suits him more, because we can see that in prone he's really high score, perfect. Also Alaryani is shooting really good, and Doroshenko again. And Šuranji is still in 10 ring. He's slower than others, but he's keeping his stance.
Yes, he's keeping his stance.
He's saving his nerves. He's saving his rhythm.
And he's being very calm, and also his coach is smiling. His coach is very calm and supportive. I think it's very important for coaches to be the support for their athletes.
Yes, and important is that coaches does not show their nervous,
emotion,
because
yeah.
then their nerves will go to the athletes. So, and sometimes it's harder to be a coach in the back and look to the athlete, because you cannot do anything than the athlete on the firing line, because when you are a coach at the back, you sometimes takes all the stress for the athletes to yourself.
Yeah, you do, but I wouldn't say it's harder for the coaches. Maybe stress-wise.
Stress-wise, yes.
Maybe, but it's definitely harder for these athletes here, fighting for their medals and everything they come here for. But I think they're very pleased here. I mean, the weather is really nice. I didn't see the light change for the last few series. I think it's quite stable. The wind is not existing.
Yeah, the wind is almost not existing. We have good light on the targets, and everything is perfect. And we can see also by the scores. The scores are very high.
The scores are high, yeah.
And Šuranji is still shooting good. Al-Dahmani also is almost in the 10 ring. But look at Alaryani. His group on the firing position 1. It's very
good. It's beautiful to see when somebody's doing a really, really good job. We have Doroshenko in the lead, now a difference of 1.1. It was a difference of 2.1, which means that the rest of the athletes are a little bit better right now, but he's keeping his lead, he's keeping it up.
He started with 10.7.
Oh, with 10.7, always his first shot.
Yes, he's really fast.
And Alaryani also at 10.7.
And I think this is the first series all 8 athletes shot 10 in the same shot.
Oh no, they didn't. The 9.9 by Shaziri.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed him. But it was very
Almost,
close. Yeah,
very, very close. Almost. Yeah, this is a nice shot by everybody, I would say.
Yeah, and Doroshenko 9.3. This is the bad shot. He cannot afford shot in 9.3 in prone, and he's losing his. Yeah.
He had a 9.8. Wasn't very pleased with that, but his next shot, I feel like he is trying to concentrate very hard on this one. Let's see what he shot. A 10.0.
But look at Šuranji. He's shooting really nice. His group is together.
Yes.
He's calm. He is slower than others, but his grouping is perfect.
You almost can't even see how many shots he had because his group is so tight.
Yeah, now he shot a third shot, a little bit high, but still 10.1. Very good shooting from Šuranji, and he's currently now on the 2nd place. And Alaryani is now 3rd.
Yeah, you can see they are left with two shots in this series. Some of them are already finished.
Yeah,
Šuranji
is normally the last.
Yes,
he has one more shot.
And Doroshenko, he had actually 2 9s now, but that didn't put him out of the lead just yet. We have to see the end of the series to know.
But the differences will be much smaller now, because we could see very good shooting from other athletes, especially Šuranji now. He shot very good.
Yeah, he's
his last shot is 9.8, but again he shot he's 1.9 behind Doroshenko on first place, and then we have change on the third place. It's Malinovsky now third, and Alaryani is on fourth position.
Okay, now they're starting with the changes. Doroshenko he kept his lead. That's okay. I didn't even expect it to go this high. It's 1.9. It was 1.1 after the last series.
Yes, it's interesting. He shot 2 9s, but his free shots was really good 10s. So he didn't lose almost nothing on that mistakes.
It's 0.4 of a difference between third and second place Šuranji. Šuranji really showed he can be very good and prone here in these 3 series.
And we have changed. Malinovsky now is on third place, and Alaryani, Abdullah Sultan is now on fourth place. He moved from second to fourth during the prone, so he lost quite something on the prone position. And now we can see the athletes are in changeover time. They are changing. Interesting is in the wheelchair athletes in standing position may not use the tables, so they have to remove the tables from the wheelchairs because they will shoot only from their hands, and they are not allowed to use the tables. And we have Doroshenko who will shot from high chair now. We mentioned it before. In high chair, when the athlete is shooting in high chair, important thing to check, and it is checked by the equipment control jury and the range jury, that he is able, when he's sitting on the high chair, he must lift both legs from the floor and sit, and he may not move on that. Otherwise he will be using a chair like a third leg. So very important to check the heights of the high chairs also. So everything is checked before the competition and also during the competition. And also we have post-competition checks for the athletes, so athletes are randomly chosen after the competition and they are being rechecked. So we really want to make sure that all the equipment is according to the rules and no of the athletes has not unallowed advantage in front of others.
It's really interesting to see how they know exactly what they're doing. Of course they do, but they're trying to do it as fast as they can, so they have more time for sighting shots. And it's always the athletes in the wheelchair that are first to finish with the changes and start doing the sighting shots. We see the ones who are doing it the ICCF way, they're still not ready to take a stand and be in the position for sighting shots, and some of them, like Al-Dahmani, he's already starting his sighting shots.
Yeah, it's a little bit different because the ISSF, okay, but Doroshenko now is shooting from a high chair. It is similar to standing, it's not quite, but you have to do quite a lot of changes on the rifle from prone to standing. So but he's also almost ready. So they changed really fast from the prone to standing, and they will have quite a lot of time.
They're gonna have to fix the jacket now, maybe?
Yeah, they will have to fix his complete position.
Malinovsky now, he got into his position.
Yes, he's ready for sighting, we can see, but
some adjustments are being made a little bit more, maybe putting the monitor on the other side or something.
There is always a lot of adjustments, and especially because athletes in the wheelchair are not, they need more because the wheelchair is using more space and it sets differently on the firing position as is normal human body. So it's needed more adaptation for the athletes on the firing position.
We have Doroshenko now. We can see him. He's in the high stool.
Yes.
We couldn't see his feet, but I would like to see if how his feet
are okay. I could check it. He's sitting correctly, and his chair is not too high, and he will be able to lift his both legs from the floor without any problem.
The coach is still helping Malinovsky to...
Yes, now this is fine-tuning to finding the best position of the wheelchair according to the target. Sometimes the athletes need more time, and we can see Shaziri, he's also shooting from a high stool.
Mm-hmm.
He has a little bit of different style, but again, he's very really experienced athlete, and I expect also quite high scoring from him in standing position, because he will be able to judge the conditions outside. If the sun will come out, I think in standing he could do a really, really good job.
Yeah, I have to say this again. I mean, he began shooting in 1987. I mean, come on, he has a lot of experience.
Yes, he has
should
all
be able
the
to
experience of this world here. But sometimes it is harder when you are over-experienced. It is harder to control yourself, because you are aware of everything what can happen to you, and it's really hard to calm yourself down. When I was speaking with our experienced athletes, sometimes it's very harder to control yourself being older, because you know what can happen. You're not so relaxed, and you just think too much, overthink.
It has its good sides and its bad sides, but I think when you're younger you kind of go into it a little bit more relaxed, as you said, but then if something happens you don't have the experience to correct it, and actually they have, so it's interesting to see how they manage to correct everything.
We can see the sighting shots. Al-Dahmani is really good in sighting.
Al-Dahmani is very good. I wasn't expecting
and
it.
Malinovsky also. They shoot really, really high score in sighting. So we will see. It will be very interesting. And we must say these 2 5-shot series first now will be very important, because they have to stay in first 6, because 7th and 8th athletes will be eliminated from this final after the 10 shots in standing position. So they must keep the pressure. They cannot afford any mistakes in standing in 5-shot series, because if they do one mistake too much, they will be out. They will have no chance to come back.
It's interesting. Šuranji is trying to get in the center. He started off very low, actually lower than I would expect, and now he's climbing up in the center. I guess he had to adjust his rifle a little bit better in the sighting. I think he has more time now. He has enough time to do it. And I can see Doroshenko, he's
really on the target.
He's really, really good. I mean, his group was a little bit on the right, but now he's moving it in the center, hitting a 10.8. That's a great shot for the standing position. I think it's always the standing one that's the most difficult for everybody.
Yeah, but we saw on Šuranji's target, when they changed position from prone to standing, also he changed position of his body. So his head and his body is set different, and he had to change the sights a lot, and his elevation was wrong. But now he's getting back in the game. He is around the 10 ring, but again Doroshenko is there, he's on the target, and Al-Dahmani now is spreading his group.
Yes. And he's not very pleased with that. I hope he's gonna come before the 5 series shots.
Yeah, he has only 30 seconds now, so he has to be quick.
But that was a fast one. He did it fast. It was an 8.9.
Yeah, it's not the best way to finish sighting. But when I look Al-Dahmani, he looks so tense, like an anger on the firing, because other athletes are really, really relaxed, and Al-Dahmani is so tense.
I feel like something is maybe it's not his day. It's fine. He's gonna finish these finals, and
tomorrow will be another day.
Tomorrow will be another day, as it always is. Of course, the judges are calling stop. Yeah,
the targets are set on match, and we'll start the first 5-shot series in standing position.
Competition series low.
I think this series is gonna show us a lot where the athletes are standing on this. We have on 6th and 7th position the representatives of United Arab Emirates, and one of them actually in the first 4.
Yeah. Al-Aryani Abdullah Sultan is 4th place.
Yeah. Al-Dahmani shot first this time. It wasn't Doroshenko.
Yeah.
He hit 9.7. Doroshenko hitting a 9.5. 10.5. The only 10 we had was More at 10.5 and Alariani.
And we still wait, like usual, we wait for Šuranji to fire the last shot.
Yeah.
He takes a lot of time.
It's okay if that suits him. That's fine. How many seconds do they have now for the?
They have 4 minutes and 10 seconds. They have
4 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yes, 50 seconds per shot in average. So they have enough time here, but again, we have perfect conditions.
Yeah.
There is practically no wind. So
Al-Dahmani hit a 8.7. I guess is spreading his group a little bit. Doroshenko is coming back into the center with a 10.3, but More is doing a great job with a 10.6 and
yeah, More is really shooting very well.
10.4 now. I guess he's in the 7th place right now, but he's gonna go up after the series if he continues with his good shots.
And Shaziri is quite left now, and his experience, he should set himself. He should find his 10 ring because his elevation is perfect, but he's off on left. Now he's off on the right side.
Yeah, he maybe changed it a little bit more than he should. We can see Al-Dahmani. Now he shot a 10.0, the last one.
And our leader, Doroshenko, he looks so calm.
He is so calm. He's not even, you can't even quite notice any nervousness in him. He's just shooting one shot by another. Whatever he shots, you can't really see any
emotions.
Emotion.
He's really calm.
He's doing it very calmly,
and concentrated. Really nice shooting.
Alariani Abdullah Saif, he had a 7.5, and he's already in the 8th place.
Standing is not his favorite position. Also, he shot only 110, so it is not his bad position.
Yeah, he could be the one to
candidate
fall out
in
the finals in the first draft of it. We have in 7th position Al-Dahmani. Well,
Stop.
They are finished with their first series of 5 shots. After the next series of 5 shots, 2 of the finalists are
being eliminated from
this finals, and right now it looks like that's going to be Al-Dahmani Abaid and Alariani Abdullah Saif, both representatives of the United Arab Emirates. But in 4th position is Alariani Abdullah Sultan, also from the United Arab Emirates, and Doroshenko keeping his lead with a difference of 1.7 in front of Šuranji, Šuranji just keeps climbing up very calmly, very peacefully.
He's now
Nobody's even
on his
noticing
2nd place after the prone, and he's shooting nice standing. And also, Malinovsky also now climbed on 3rd place, and he's there. He holds his 3rd place. He shoots calmly. You will not see him, but his score is good enough to be there without any problems.
Yeah, I feel like the 2 of them have been the most calm and steady for the whole finals. They didn't have any too good or too bad of shots. They were just very stable.
Yeah, they are stable shooters the whole final. So this also is good.
A 10.7. That's the best shot for the first shot in this 5-shot series. Doroshenko is really keeping his lead, and he's. I'm very actually surprised of how calm he is. If he's keeping the lead for the whole finals. It's interesting now. He had a 9.2 on the left a little bit.
We are now with Alariani Abdullah Sultan, and this is Vadovichova.
Yeah.
She is probably a little bit disappointed after not so successful final in 3rd position for ladies. Alaryani, he shot an 8 also. He's not so happy. I think he's also quite disappointed with this scoring here.
But Doroshenko is keeping up. He's continuing with
and also
10.6.
And also Šuranji.
And Šuranji he is so good that I don't even notice him. He's just like in the background being
quiet
very
river
good.
will
Quiet
make
and just
everything.
shooting very, very nicely. Doroshenko 10.9. That's amazing. Good job.
Standing, hitting 10.9 is really good job. So he's our current leader, and he's really showing who's the boss in this final.
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
Shooting,
just like Norman did, yeah.
I think from the first series he's in the lead to all the final. He's keeping calm. He doesn't let his opponents to come close to him. He's just doing his job.
He's just doing his job very calmly. But there was a 10.2 now. He had a reaction. It looked like he thought it was going to go somewhere else, but I guess he was saved. You know, sometimes in shooting when you do a double mistake and then it's like 2 minuses make a plus. That's what happened maybe.
Or sometimes you do mistake after the bullet exits the barrel, but you're not aware of that. But look again, Šuranji shooting really slow, calm.
He's always the one who they're waiting for him to finish. Him and also Malinovsky, I think. Both of them shoot quite slowly.
They are on their way to medals.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we can see our score now.
After this series of 5 shots in the standing position, two of the finalists are eliminated from the finals, and winning the 8th place is Alaryani Abdullah Saif, and winning 7th place is Al-Rahmani Obaid, both representatives of the United Arab Emirates.
Yes, and we'll continue with single shots now. Doroshenko is still in the lead. His lead is now 4.5 in front of Šuranji on 2nd place.
That's a big, big difference. Yes. We're waiting for them to
start the single shots.
Exit the finals line. A little bit slower there with Al-Rahmani. He had to put the safety pin in.
And interesting is Malinovsky is also very close to Šuranji. 0.7 difference between Šuranji and Malinovsky on 2nd place. And now we have some reaction from audience.
Shot low.
Okay, now we're starting with 1 shot.
Start.
Yeah, this shot will decide 6th place. So
this shot will decide the 6th place.
Moray and Shaziri are here in the danger zone, but Shaziri has 2.5 in front of Moray on 6th place. So Shaziri should not be worried about this, but next shot will be really harder for him.
But anything can happen in the standing position, I guess. So even now, you can't really know who's gonna go from the finals, Moray or Shirazi, because it's a 2.5 difference, and if one of them
Shirazi
makes a mistake,
9.2, he's still in the final.
Stop.
9.2.
Was enough because he has 2.5 advantage. So
it's
6th place will go to Moray Radoslav, Slovakia.
Congratulations.
He already put his safety pin in. I guess
I think his safety flag fall down on the floor, and he needs a little bit of help. Okay.
His coach is helping him.
Yeah, it is allowed.
He won 6th place. That's okay. That's good. He
went
through the whole finals. You know, he got some experience. He even did the 1 shot. Now we have
Shaziri and Alaryani in the danger zone. 1.2 between of them. It is not so big difference.
But there's a bigger difference.
Position can happen to everything.
Yeah, a 3.4 behind Malinovsky and the 3rd place. So it's really only between Alaryani and Shaziri.
But we must mention something. Šuranji fired first shot in this series. This is something new in this final.
And it was 10.1. It was a good one.
Yeah, it was really good shot, fast one. And first time he shot the first in this final, and he shot 10.1 in standing.
Representing Israel, we have Shaziri Doron, and he won 5th place. It's very interesting how the whole finals is going on, and everyone is trying to make the best of the results that they're having, and then once they start falling out, then you see what they did for the whole finals, you know. It's clear who had the biggest advantage, because this one shot, it doesn't really make a difference because of all of the shots they shot before.
Yeah, but now when we come to after this shot, we will have, okay, Alaryani is 3.6 behind 3rd place, so he has to do a really good shot, and his opponent has to have a bad shot.
Yeah.
But then Malinovsky and Šuranji, they will have duel in this one shot. If it stays like this, it will be very tense.
Alaryani now has to shoot a nice one, and if he wants to stay in the finals,
his
Malinovsky
opponents
is going to have to make a mistake.
Alaryani 10.1.
Let's see what Malinovsky is going to have.
8.8.
8.8. This could actually...
No, it is.
No.
Yeah.
It's too little of a difference, but Malinovsky is staying in the game, but you can see that he was very, very nervous to stay in for the medals.
And everything is normal. Šuranji shot the last shot of this series again, so we are still in normal order like before. And 4th place goes to Alaryani Abdullah Sultan from United Arab Emirates.
Yeah, he's a representative for the United Arab Emirates. There was 3 representatives in this finals. I'm sad to see that none of them got a medal.
Yeah, but we still have some competitions, and they will have more chances to win the
course,
medal.
Of course.
And in this situation, we can be honest and say Doroshenko, Šuranji, and Malinovsky was one step in front of everybody.
Yeah, they were. And they are the medalists today for the Osiek 2019 World Shooting Parasport World Cup for the 50-meter rifle 3-position men SH1.
Yes.
There's a difference between Doroshenko and Šuranji. I mean, it's a 5.4 difference.
Yeah, but 1.1 between Šuranji and Malinovsky, it's not so big.
Yes.
And we will see. But
The next
Doroshenko
shot.
will shot normally the first. Okay, he shot 9.8. Malinovsky 9.7.
And we're waiting for Šuranji.
And Šuranji needs 8.6 to stay in the final. So this shot is decisive for the bronze and the silver medal, because Doroshenko's advantage.
Let's see what he shot. A 10.7.
Really nice shot.
Amazing, really nice shot at the moment that he really
Ladies
needed
and
one.
gentlemen, after 44 shots, we have a 3rd place.
He is
and
completely
bronze
safe
medal
now, yeah.
Winner.
Yeah.
It is Malinovsky representing
Now we
Slovakia.
have the bronze medal winner from Slovakia, Malinovsky Radoslav.
Yes, and one more shot to go, and Doroshenko is in the lead. Šuranji on 2nd place. 4.5 difference between them, and Doroshenko has to make a big mistake, so Šuranji will have a chance for gold medal.
Doroshenko didn't make any mistakes here in this finals. One mistake, he had 1.8, I think.
But he was really calm, and
he was very calm about it.
If he shots his shot good, yes, he shot 10.2. He deserved that gold medal in this final, because he was really the best in this final.
Yeah, but we're waiting for Šuranji.
Everything is normal. Šuranji is shooting the last shot of the final, like almost all final.
Yeah. It's just,
9.3.
you can say it just should have been like that.
Results are final.
Amazing, congratulations, Doroshenko, Andriy, representative from Ukraine. He had a beautiful, beautiful finals. He was very, very calm and very pleased.
Šuranji looks disappointed a little bit, but his shooting was really nice, and he also deserved his silver medal. But
absolutely.
Knowing Laslo, he's always so serious. He is the type of the athlete who's always serious, who's always focused, and he will need now some time to relax after this final.
Absolutely. They're taking them now for a little bit of photos and just to present them to
our audience.
Here and the audience watching.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us for this second 50-meter final, but we expect you back in another final,
Yes,
which will be
we have
later.
One more final for the day. It's a fourth final and the last one at the Gradski Vrt Sports Hall. Now we have the presentation again of the athletes. Bronze medal Malinovski Radoslav from Slovakia, silver medal Šuranji Laslo, representative of Serbia, and a gold medal representative of Ukraine, Doroshenko Andriy, who absolutely deserved this.
Yeah, he was on the fire for this final, and he is the king of free position man SH1 on this World Cup. But welcome back in R4 final, which will be in Gradski Vrt, because it will be a really interesting final with high scoring, with really intense until the last shot. I can promise you that this will be one of the most interesting final you have ever watched, because the differences will be very small, the scoring will be really high, and I ask you to join us again for this final.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be in, I think, 2 hours. In 2 hours, we're going to see you back, and goodbye.
Thank you, and goodbye.